She's like, I smell other dogs.
Right?
It's okay, I'll smell like dog. I'll smell like dog. Or dog.
Yes.
I always smell like dog.
Yeah, and I come home and I get the 3rd degree, it's like, wait, let me sniff you, you smell like you're somewhere that I should have gone with you.
My dog just like wraps herself in half, getting all excited. Oh, we got super excited.
She actually was, that was reactive. Yeah, there you go. What do you think? No, there you go. Let's go back into positive. So that's what we call stranger danger. And that's okay, because we can work through it. Every time, so with her especially, the basic things that I want to start with is I want to be able to find a treat or something that the dog works for, right? Do you think she kind of likes this one? I would say yeah. So if your dog doesn't follow it around like a magnet, probably not as effective, and you should find something that your dog really, really likes. And a lot of times, again, if they're hungry, they'll be like, oh, okay, I can work for minimum wage in the house, but outside I can't. So, maybe with the natural balance, when I bring the dog out, I give them that minute or two. She piddled, so I went and grabbed the towel and sprayed it. But if I give them a second to check out the room, yes, I can start rewarding for their attention to me. So as much as I have the food on me and I'm breaking bigger chunks into smaller chunks for her, every time she looks at me, yes, she's going to start hearing that magical word, I'm getting paid. Skylar and I, she's in daycare with training, so we just started some of the eye contact and the recalls and the quiet. So those 3 things we've already kind of started, which is why I'm bringing her a little bit. Yes, there you go. And I know she has a little bit of that stranger danger, so that's kind of why I thought it would be a good experience for her to work in front of people today. With her, if I move and she gets fixated or focused on anything else.
Oh, there's a piece of kibble that comes.
Yes! Mm-hmm. But even though there's a distraction, right? That was perfect for you to tell me that. Even though there's a distraction, that's kind of similar to if they see that squirrel, right? I don't want you to go get it unless I've said you're okay to go get it, right? So if she wants to go investigate it or she sees it, oh, beautiful. Skylar, yes. If she wants to go see it without me saying it's okay, she never can go get it. But if I tell her it's okay, then she can go get it. So if the dog is dragging me, I never follow. If I ever feel the leash tighten, I don't follow. So even here, if I need to get her back to me, she's at the end of the leash, I go hand over hand, go in front of the dog, bring the dog back, have that leash loose again, and help her be successful. Did I pay her for that? No, because I did the work. But I'll pay her for this. Skylar, yes. So you see, I can have a consequence. I can say that you don't get paid for something that I have to do the work for. Because I'm not going to eat this, and if I'm doing the work, I should be paid. Right? So as much as we think that, hey, we're walking somewhere, if there's a tight leash, I tend to go like this, go right in front of the dog, bring the dog back, get that loose leash again, and then wait for her to control herself. So, whoa, I smell something. Yes, there you go. Oops, kind of stuck my finger and broke off. So the very first exercise I want to do, and the very first homework that I want everybody else to do, is just simply eye contact. So with your leash, I usually have the handle around my hand, and I hold the leash halfway, because then that limits them to this little spot, and this little spot can get boring. So that's kind of what you're going to do in class next week, is when you come in, don't give them the full 6 feet, give them where you have half the leash, and then when they start making good decisions, Skylar, yes, they start getting paid. Dogs have choice, just like you do, and there are consequences to certain choices, but my consequences are usually very positive, or helping them be successful away from something that they're concerned about. Away behavior instead of forward behavior. Skylar, yes. So eye contact is important not just from in front, but also from on the sides. So if I have her on the right-hand side and pull the food away, so I lured her to be successful and I pull the food away, when she looks at me, Skylar, yes, she gets paid. It's not about sit right now. If she chooses to sit, it's fine. Default sit behavior is never a problem. So you see that she sees it. Skylar, yes. Go get it.
Yeah.
Good girl.
She's like, oh, that's not what I thought it was.
Yeah, it's not quite what I want. And then also, eye contact is important on the left-hand side. So if I have the food, I lure her over to the left-hand side. I don't have to be perfect. She doesn't have to be perfect. Skylar, yes. really want her to start seeing these different pictures. Because you do not walk with your dog in front of you. So if the only way that you teach eye contact is in front, then that's where they're going to pay attention to you. So I start to teach them that this also matters. Skylar, yes. Because then as we go, she falls into more competition type healing or attention focused healing. Yes. So eye contact is the very first homework to teach. All right? Any questions on that? In front, left, right? Just start pairing it with the yes game. That way they're learning that eye contact is my name. I hear this yes, it's a wonderful thing, I get paid for it. The next homework, we kind of throw these together tonight, but this would be where I take a 5-minute break or so after 3 minutes of only eye contact. The next one is going to be to have her SIT. So if I have the dog and I lure the dog in front first is fine, because usually that happens first. I pull the lure away, and when her butt's on the ground and she's paying attention, Skylar, sit. Yes. And then I pay. Why I don't say sit before her butt's on the ground is because to me, she doesn't know it yet. I could go sit, sit, and maybe she doesn't listen. I'm not looking at her though, that's why. She's like, wait a minute, I kind of know this one. But I want the dog to truly understand it. So then I move over here, it's on my right-hand side. Good. That's prairie dog. Thank you. Sit. Yes. And then it's also then on my left-hand side. Prairie dog. Good. Sit. Yes. And then pay. So in front, left, and right. And each time you're moving to a slightly different spot, right? You're moving just in every room of the house, a couple of times in every room for 3 minutes, and just focusing on sit. So that hopefully, Skylar, sit? Yes. And then we can pay. So once they know it, they will do it. But you have to be the one to truly teach them the definition first. And what happens a lot is if you're constantly going sit, 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 and the dog's not doing it, they're learning to blow you off. You're teaching them to blow you off. I want her actually knowing that butt on ground is sit, and it's yes, and it's pay. Okay? So eye contact, sit, but then also the recall is important. Good. Quiet. Yes. And when do I say quiet with her? Because she's still starting to learn these behaviors. I don't say it when she's barking. I help her be more successful. Excuse you. Please swallow it away. Good. I get her away from something that she's stressing out about. I help her be successful. And then I say it. Quiet. Yes. And then I pay for it. Quiet. Yes. And then I pay for it. Quiet. Yes. And then I pay for it. Where are her eyes? Right?
Well,
they started and then she starts going, I never get it when I look at the tree. I get it when I look at Julie. So we start to teach the dog to be you-focused versus food-focused, which is why this doesn't matter in the long run, right? And we have distractions. She's never had to work in front of all these people before. And she has distractions in the other room. She's used to daycare. But she's never had to work in all these people, in front of all the people. So she's doing very well. What I want to teach her, right, is just make a choice. Good. Good. So you see how she's prancing and she's not settled? I wait for her to just settle herself. Why do I not yes and pay for all the bouncing around? It's because I want to keep her impulse control, and she's very impulsive right now. And so I'm just going to wait for her to just relax. Pay for what you want. Remember, you can't yes them too much, but if you're yesing them for behaviors that you don't want lifelong, that becomes the problem. Is that then they learn that they can't control themselves. Yes. So look away from me and don't get all upset about it. I want the cookie, I want the cookie, I want the cookie. So just look away and calm down. Yes. So letting them make the decision is also very important. We far too often correct them and try to force them to do things, or we're always luring them into something, so we're doing a lot of the work. You can lure, but I would rather you start to let them think. Okay? So, eye contact, sits, the recall. If you're doing it by yourself, usually I'll just do this game. Skylar, come. Yes. Where I just toss a treat out if she's on leash. And you don't have to be on leash in the house, of course, but I would encourage you to actually help them be successful. Skylar, come. Yes. When do I say Skylar, come to her?
When she's coming toward you.
When she's running towards me. Skylar, come. Yes. Good girl. So that she starts learning, and I never pay for the wrong behavior, so you see how she's up on top of something? Oh, there you go. I'm very clear about when you get your paycheck, your feet are on the ground. Good. Skylar, come. Yes, there you go.
Oh, you smell me.
You can see it. You missed it. There you go. Skylar, come. Yes. Good girl. So that hopefully this happens. Skylar, come. Yes. And I have a dog who actually starts to understand what COME means. And again, we've practiced some of this, but that's the next level. I don't say it though until I've really trained her and practiced it. Hi. Good. Thank you. Skylar, come. Yes. Good. Oh. So, eye contact, sits, recalls, quiet, and then the jumping. She's a big jumper, right? Now you're interested in people. I'm actually happy with that. So technically she's not, there we go, not 4 on the floor. Off. Yes. So this time, my food was not on me, right? Wasn't on the big bag, wasn't on me. We went away from it. There you go. I'm still a reliable boss. If I say yes, I will pay you, but I'm only going to pay you if you're a little bit more solid. The food's over there. Skylar, come. Off. Yes. Mom's here. Does she know that I'm training her? Okay. And the dollars. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay. All right. Skylar has to go.
Thank you, Skylar.